welcome to the next level. Nowadays, it's the ways of the...
So walk me through how you think the battle between Chedda Cheese and Big Cannons will go down.
I think I don't want to say a winner or loser of the battle, but I think Chedda has a huge standard in this battle, because his last one was against Lex D in Edmonton. I thought that he did well, but again, I know Chedda very well, and to his standard, it was definitely not up to par. So he will be writing his ass off. I know that. Is that okay to say? Yeah. Yeah. He'll be writing his ass off for this one for sure. But what I really like about this is that, you know, like Smack and URL and like whatever. A guy like Chedda Cheese going up against someone like Chilla Jones or DNA or something like that, who like are very intense individuals, you know what I mean? Like a guy like I feel like that creates an awkward dynamic for a battle.
Yeah,
well, a guy like Big Cannon holds that Smack stature, like he's known as that URL kind of rapper, but he also freestyles in a lot of his stuff, which is rare to find nowadays. He incorporates humor in a lot of his material. He has a lot of fun with it. He commands a room really well. And Chedda, being so small and whatever, does that as well. So I think it's like a funhouse mirror match, I like to call it, because it's very similar styles staring at each other back in the face from super different backgrounds. And I think it'll make for a great battle. I really do. I'm very excited for it. And like Chedda, I'm a huge fan of. How could you not like him, right?
Yeah. So who do you think's gonna win?
I don't know if I can say that.
Okay.
I think I have a higher standard for Chedda Cheese in this battle than I do for Big Cannon, just because I know him personally. So I expect Chedda to win and have a great performance, but I don't expect him to win either, because I know Big Cannon's hungry. This is his King of the Dot debut. He's been asking for that for a while. It's going to be good.
Go either way. So what other battles do you think?
It's really convenient that I have the card right there. Yeah, totally. DDSS Nameless, obviously, just to go down in like ascending order. Nameless is a friend of mine, like I would say probably one of the more talented, like quote-unquote rappers in King of the Dot, who's been a part of the Canadian music and battle scene for the better part of a decade, if not more, I would probably say at this point. He's had classics against Kid Twist, who's a Canadian legend. He just came on and did a 2 versus 2 with Twist against Shuffle T and Marlowe at Blackout, which was an awesome surprise, super cool. So like the fact that we get to have that, we get to like come off that, you know what I mean? We get a Nameless performance coming off of that excitement is really cool. DDSS, if you're unfamiliar, is the Ground Zero champion. Ground Zero being, most people feel it as the subsidiary league to King of the Dot, but we're trying to sway that opinion. And with this battle, that's kind of what is the turnkey to do that. We're putting DDSS against the King of the Dot vet. He's going to give him a run for his money, and DDSS has always been kind of put in positions where he's defending his title. He's only doing it once a year, and with the Ground Zero Grand Prix coming up, we want to make sure that he can have his sword sharp for the getting that ready and whatnot, right? So, and Nameless and him is just like, you think of like who's a great battle for DDSS, and Nameless, I guarantee for 80% of the population would be like, obviously Nameless is going to be that guy. They look, there's the mirror match aspect to it. They're very aggressive. They're very like multi-heavy in their rhyme patterns and whatnot. And like the good thing is that DDSS and Nameless are the same height. They're both like 6'4" or 6'5" or something like that. So neither of them are used to battling someone eye to eye. So I'm interested to see how that changes. Thank you very much. So I'm stoked for that one a lot. Soulpigsty is another huge one. If you haven't seen, I did a battle with Soul earlier this year at Blackout 4, which was highly acclaimed, I guess would be the word. But Soul, I'm a huge fan of him. He's from Scotland. He's widely considered as one of the best writers in battle rap, and I would definitely stand behind that statement. He's so good. I thought that he had some of the best material ever said to me, which was fucking great. Is that okay? Sorry.
Yeah, you can.
I can swear, I can do whatever I want. I can hit dabs. Okay, cool.
Yeah. You're like withholding smoking.
Okay, yeah, and I'm also a big fan of Fixedeyes. Fixedeyes, like, I mean, he's a Vancouver vet. He's one of the guys who's like, he's one of the main guys who's been putting on for Vancouver since the get-go, since kind of like the turning point of Vancouver when Emotions left and Lesparka took over. Fixedeyes being that kind of dark horse of the division. It's been really interesting to watch. It's been really interesting to watch, and I've always been a big fan of him. I've pulled him in to Calgary to do 3 or 4 events now. He's always killed it. He'll get mad at me if I made fun of him for the ones that he knows that I don't think killed it, but he's always done well. I'm a huge fan of him. I think him and Soul are both great writers, and I think it really will be that like Ernest Hemingway of battle rap kind of matchup. Like, it's
really intellectual,
super dense writing with really cool obscure references that are most likely going to surround around like literature and like other paintings and things like that. So it's like, you know, get your corncob pipe and your fucking hat tipped for that battle, but it'll be really good.
I feel like that's your jam.
Yeah, no, I'm so hyped for it. Yeah, and people reference stuff like that. I'm super into it. Talk about crosswords. But no, Soulpigsty, huge fan of. Again, it's the battle of the writers, like, and like that's something that I look for in battle rap nowadays. It's in such a saturated market, like so little people are really putting the time and effort into what they're writing anymore. And the term bar, like having bars, has been this like has flooded out what battle rap is supposed to be about, which is more about lines and creativity and like wit and being able to like take somebody's, being able to like encapsulate what situation and capture that and steal that momentum and have that sway. And like just this whole bar thing, being a good writer, I beat him on paper, or like, you know, I thought the crowd was biased or this and that. It's just a bunch of horse shit. So Pixie and Soul will be like a battle to crush those kind of opinions, and like for someone who really wants to like watch a battle and listen to it and be blown away by the content. I'm missing. Ape Yola, J-Pro. J-Pro, obviously King the Dot staff member, super aggressive, super good. Just killed it against the Saurus in like an impromptu battle at Blackout 5 as well. Like, huge fan of J-Pro, very good. Ape Yola is another dude who was like named Ground Zero Battler of the Year a few years back. He does only about 1 or 2 battles a year, but every time he kills it. He battled Poe Rich last time in Vancouver, which was like one of my favorite performances ever. Poe Rich is super funny in that battle too, so if you haven't watched that one, don't go watch that. Ape Yola, J-Pro, it's a perfect matchup aggressive-wise, or aggression-wise, and then, you know, again, for that, like, giving guys that, giving, like, you know, the newer up-and-comers, like, the shot against the vets, having a guy like Ape Yola against J-Pro where they meet aggression-wise, but, like, J-Pro's name is so much more valuable than Ape Yola's. It's, in every single battle, the dynamic can switch. Like, who knows how people are going to be viewed after each one of these battles? It could absolutely change the whole hierarchy of how these things are looked at. Like, Newell, if he beats Quest McCody, or, like, not beats, but, like, you know, does, or you know, overtakes Quest McCody, whatever, Quest McCody's a dude that, he came on WRCs. He's one of the reasons that I like this whole thing, which is like, I've been into this since I was like 16 years old, 17 years old. Like, if a guy like Newell, who's a person who was sitting in, you know, his house one day, who received a phone call from me about, you know what I mean, coming on and doing battle rap one day, to being able to beat Quest McCody, that's like, that's Rudy shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, you know, that's craziness. Same, and J-Pro, and like, and with every single battle has that dynamic as well. Soul being considered one of the best writers in the world right now against Pixie, who's like, who's been, I don't want to say swept under the rug, but very slept on, and criminally slept on for that sense. Chedda Cheese as well doesn't get the shots that he deserves. DDSS, Ground Zero champ, but still doesn't get to battle and do his thing as much. You know, the theme is relevant throughout the card, and we really tried to keep that in mind when we were doing it.
Like, these are all game-changing battles.
Yeah, and especially for Calgary, right? We're trying to give that to Calgary. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's like, you know, when we were playing around with battle concepts and stuff, it's like, who do we want to give battles? So we were playing around with, we'll talk about Sun Tzu and Il-9 in a second here, but like, you know, we were talking about Sun Tzu, Quest McCody, a few other different battles right at the beginning. And then, you know, you kind of give your head a shake and go like, no, this is about Calgary. We want to put on our battlers so we can have, you know, more value to the future of our division, and we can continue to bring guys out. And so we need that support from our fans, the people in Alberta, to like come out so we can continue doing these events, man. Like the $20 that goes towards a pay-per-view, or coming out to check out the event, picking up a pre-sale ticket, buying a shirt, every single dime goes back into the business, into bringing bigger, better battles into these smaller divisions. Vancouver and Calgary now are now working together in unison to try and bring bigger cards to Western Canada, and we need that support. We truly do. I say that super sincerely to everyone out there who's ever supported King of the Dot. If you want to see more of this, and you want to see more products that are outside of the norm in the sense of the type of battles that are being set up nowadays, and you want that, you know, that dynamic range of entertainment, then like, we're the people that are going to be providing that to you. You give us that support, and we'd be happy to give it back to you.
That was a beautiful interview.
Thank you very much.
I feel like we should have had that Sarah McLachlan song.
I love that song. I know exactly the one that you're talking about. Thank you. That was, and I said it sincerely because I captured it, I could tell. But again, and then you know, Il-9 Sun Tzu is another crazy battle that I'm really excited for several reasons. Sun Tzu's being like, I mean, he's from Seattle. We were just talking about this on the way here. Sun Tzu's first battle that he ever got kind of introduced to the main stage was against Fingas in the 2012 Grand Prix? Well,
Yeah, we just
in the 2012 Grand Prix, it was Sun Tzu and Fingers, which is like Sun Tzu came out the fucking gate swinging. Everyone was like, no one had really seen him before, and to put up a heavyweight match like that up against Fingers and be able to kill it, it's like. It was an eye-opening thing for a lot of people, right? So being able to see Sun Tzu now against Il Nye being one of the biggest up-and-comers in Calgary, he has a huge following here. A lot of people are coming out. He's one of the main guys when I'm setting up saying like, who do you want to see next? People are generally going Il Nye, which is like always a surprise to me because he's generally newer. And but no, he's got that following. So Sun Tzu being a dude who's been coming out to Calgary, he's been out here 3 or 4 times now. He's got that following here as well. And they have very similar styles. Sun Tzu's very loud and very aggressive though. We were talking about this earlier again. Il Nye's like always battles people who kind of dance around him in the sense that they're not getting up in his shit, you know what I mean? And really like violating their space and taking and dominating that situation. And Sun Tzu's gonna do that to him. So I'm interested to see what happens out of that.
So before we wrap up here, do you have any final thoughts, words, shout-outs you want to make?
I don't know, I feel like I just kind of went on there. Is there anything else that we need to touch on?
Shout-out to Alex.
Yeah, shout-out to Lexington Ave Culture Shop, 617 11th Ave Southwest. That's where we are right now. I work here on Sundays with Sketch. Come check me out. We got crazy gear published from California. We got one of Western Canada's biggest vintage Jordan collections, all from my homie Alex Lex. You can come check him throughout the week here. He's got all from his personal collection. It's a beautiful store put together for the community. Again, like an organic environment. Same thing with King of the Dive. Like, come out here, hang out. We got cookies on the table, iPads. You know, come check out some kicks, do your thing. Watch Battle Rap The Renaissance from the homies Rob Roy and LK Visuals. It's a battle rap documentary kind of about. I mean, go check it out. It's an interesting watch. It's about 20 minutes long. You get to watch some of the world's best talk about all different ranges of battling and how it's affected their lives. It's really cool. Shout out Cousin of Death Clothing. Shout out La Sparka, Willie B. Faithful, Jake Danger, Russell, Cody, everybody out in Edmonton, everybody from Vancouver, everybody who helped come together to build this event, Quarantine 2. We're very excited to bring this to the city. Thank you very much for supporting. We're here to bring this to you. Sketch Menace.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I got the flow that'll never play out. In this rap shit, brothers ain't got it.
So this is for the heads that I know that love to see me get up on the mic and let it go. Professional, I guess you should.